You may not realize it yet, but you've been living under a spell, a deep unconscious trance cast by the world of appearances. Every day you wake up and measure your life by what your senses reveal. The bank account, the messages left unread, the glances from strangers, the silence from those you once loved. But what if I told you none of it was real? What if I told you that the world you think you inhabit is merely a mirror, faithfully reflecting your inner state, and that everything you've struggled to change out there can only shift once you awaken in here? In this video, we'll journey into the very heart of the illusion. I will show you how the 3D world holds no power, no agency of its own, and how your assumptions become law. We will uncover the spiritual mechanics behind every coincidence, every delayed desire, every recurring frustration. And most importantly, I will show you how to step out of the illusion and into the power that has always been yours. Stay with me until the end, for what you'll discover may not only shift your understanding, but change your life the moment you decide to feel it real. You will make no true progress as long as you continue to live through the eyes of others, as long as you measure your life by the shifting standards of the world outside. You will remain entangled in illusion until the day you resolve to live upon your own terms, born from a state you have consciously selected, assumed, and embodied in the silence of your own being. That day becomes the beginning of a transformation. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. And once you do, everything else must follow. The world is not something outside of you. It never has been. The world is a state of consciousness reflected. And I speak of your world, for there is no other. What you see, touch, feel, and react to is your personal dream shaped by your own beliefs and assumptions. What is happening in some distant place in someone else's life is nothing more than a shadow in your mind, given power only by your attention. Withdraw that attention. Let go of the habit of judging, of reacting to appearances. There is no progress in the outer world. True movement occurs only within. If you believe in your senses, you remain bound to them. But the moment you understand that every outer condition is born from a prior inner assumption, you begin to live. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. This is not a moral instruction. It is the supreme principle. There is no power outside of your own consciousness. Your imagination is God, and you shall recognize no force, no authority, no cause beyond it. The things you fear, the people you envy, the systems you try to defeat, these are all states you have unknowingly empowered. But the moment you cease to assign them value, they vanish like smoke. No man grants you rights, no title makes you worthy. These are but shadows, animated by the light of your assumption. Can you feel yourself worthy of abundance the way you feel worthy of water? Can you sit in silence and know that what you desire is already yours, so naturally, so effortlessly that receiving it would feel no more significant than taking a breath? This is not arrogance. It is divine remembrance. What can you add to the life of God by acquiring another state? Do not give your love to shadows. Do not bow before illusion. Begin with yourself. Begin by inhabiting the self you long to be. Walk the earth today as that version, not to convince others, not to perform for the world, but because you know who you are. This is not a technique. This is not a ritual. This is not a game of pretending. This is transformation, the full acceptance of a higher identity held and lived until the world must conform. If you must do something, walk, but walk as the one who already is. Breathe as the one who has already received. Sip your tea, speak, move, act, not to reach a state, but because you have already arrived. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. Most are hypnotized by the senses, unaware that the outer world is only a mirror. They chase, they wait, they beg for evidence. But evidence is not the cause. It is the echo. The moment you decide something is insignificant, it loses all grip on your being. You cannot worry about something that feels unimportant. So when something disturbs you, remember, you have assigned it value. Withdraw that value. Desire is not a signal that you lack. It is the evidence of what is already yours knocking at the door of your consciousness. Accept it. Feel it. Assume the state, and continue to live as though it were already your permanent reality. Ask yourself not if it will happen, but if you are living from it. If the answer is no, do not despair, simply return. Your only task is to dwell in the end. No proof needed, no signs, no effort to convince. Great visionaries are not distracted by the world. Their gaze is turned inward. Their hearts are fixed on truth. They do not ask the world to show them who they are. They tell the world who they have become. You do not reject the world. You recognize it. You see it as the outpicturing of a former state. You live in grace, maintaining a sacred conversation with yourself. You choose beauty, peace, certainty, not because you seek reward, but because that is your nature. This is why the rich appear indifferent to riches. They are not superior. They are simply familiar. They have assumed the state until it became mundane. The same is true of any desire. God does not worry. God assumes. God knows. And so must you. We were never meant to reason our way into blessings. Thought is not the source. Imagination is. Your every idea, every emotion, every assumption flows from this divine faculty. And once assumed, it must externalize. Stop investing your power in circumstances. Invest it in vision. Define your ideal with precision. Then live it. When you declare something to be true within yourself and you persist, it becomes, not by might, not by struggle, but by alignment. Your life continues unchanged in rhythm, but radically altered in quality. You will find that the miracle does not startle you, for you knew it long before it arrived. You lived it. You felt it. You accepted it. This is the art of becoming. This is the movement of soul through states. This is how the divine creates. It requires no special talent, just commitment, just attention, just self-recognition. Concentrate on your ideal. Let your inner conversation speak only as the one who already is. Let your emotional tone reflect the reality you've claimed. All else will come naturally, inevitably. Then, when that becomes your new normal, choose the next state, for consciousness is ever unfolding. Man awakens to God the moment he understands that everything begins within, that he is not reacting to life, but producing it, that the outer world is his own assumption, clothed in matter. If you are still seeking signs, you are not yet resting in truth. If you still need the world's approval, you have forgotten your origin, but that can change now. In this moment, let your gaze return to the only thing that matters, your state of consciousness. Let your focus move inward, and from that sacred place, declare your new world. You are not the effect, you are the cause. You are the fourth dimensional being animating the dream of the third. Remember who you are and let all else adjust. You have heard it now, not with your ears alone, but with the ear of understanding. The world you see is not a cause, but an effect. It is not the sculptor, but the sculpture. It is not your master, but your servant. And so I leave you with this truth. Nothing needs to change but you. The outer world, with its noise and contradictions, God will try to draw you back into its illusion. It will beg you to react, to fear, to doubt, but you must remember that it is powerless without your belief. Withdraw your faith from the seen and place it entirely within the unseen, within the imagination, the true temple of creation. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Walk in it, dwell in it, speak from it, not of it. Stinandi, nanid, as though it were already your most familiar experience. And watch, not with desperate eyes, but with stillness, as the world rearranges itself to match your conviction. This is not a technique. This is not a method. This is your rebirth. Thank you for walking this path with me today. And now go and dare to live from the end as the awakened dreamer of your world.